Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll be speaking on bone patellar tendon bone graft. Is it back? Well, I feel that it was never out. It is still being used. So we cannot say that is it back because it's here. So we do have so many grafts available. And when we look at the ideal graft, we know histologically and biomechanically, they should behave like a native ligament. They should fully and quickly incorporate. There should not be rejection or disease. There should not be any morbidity. Length and diameter should be adequate, cost effective, and should be available whenever you use. So what we are going to speak about only bone patellar tendon bone. So like this is a slide, a picture from a textbook where they say it's when prompt return to play is required. Athletes with hamstring lesions and many more things. And when we look at the biomechanical properties, so tensile load is very good, stiffness is good. So when you look at the cross-sectional area, it is also good. So it does match with native ACL or slightly better in terms of tensile load. And what I feel, and even I think Bhupesh will also agree with that, BTB is like a ligament because it is already stretched to its limit because it is adjusted with the knee range of motion. And we all call it as a gold standard. It is being used most commonly. It has got a longest track record proven in the literature. And we can get almost 18 to almost even up to 14 millimeter wide graft. It can be taken from the central third of the patellar tendon, patellar and tibial bone blocks, as we know high tensile strength and stiffness. And when you fix, you can fix with a rigid fixation with the interference screws. So this particular article, why bone patellar tendon bone graft should still be considered gold standard? Well, it does have mentioned, it has mentioned few advantages like graft laxity and fixation, tunnel widening, healing, and return to sport. So what does this say? When you see graft laxity and fixation, it is more, graft laxity more observed in hamstrings. And if it is there in BTB, it could be due to tunnel misplacement. And there are limited fixation options for BTB because hamstring can be fixed in many other ways, but unlike BTB, tunnel widening is a risk associated with soft tissue grafts. And that can be indication for BTB if you are planning any revision cases. When you look at the graft healing, so we all know that the plug of the BTB is kept at the aperture, so that gives aperture healing. And when you think about the return to the sports, in 2000s and 2002, there was almost 90% use of BTB as in the literatures. And there was a minimal laxity with hamstring as compared to BTB. And long-term results of both were comparable. So results at 2 or 3 years were equally in both the subgroups of the patient. But there are certain perceived disadvantages. So like iatrogenic fractured patella, quadriceps function, nailing pain, anterior knee pain, and arthritis. So sometimes there can be patella baha if the patellar tendon gets avulsed, and if you are not careful enough, you can fracture the patella. Quadriceps function, how does it differ? So mostly it is related to rehab because at the end of 2 or 3 years, the function is almost comparable in soft tissue and BTB graft. Kneeling pain is one cause of concern with these BTBs, but literature has shown that 80% of these cases resolve within first 2 years. And that's the most accepted drawback of this surgery by surgeon and by patients as well. And this can be reduced by impacting the bone graft in the defects and also by contemplating a 2-incision approach during the surgery. So this kneeling pain can be resolved quicker. Anterior knee pain is as such, most of the time it is like not associated with BTB except the kneeling pain. It can be due to damage to the nerve, or sometimes quadriceps weakness on emission can be cause of this anterior knee pain. So per se it is not associated only with BTB. The arthritis grease is same, whatever graft you are going to choose in both the groups. So there are certain few articles what they mentioned that ACL, it allows for better Benny incorporation in graft and less functional deficits when you use BTB in ACL. Then there are lower graft failures, faster incorporation due to bone, greater return to sports, and lower hamstring weaknesses and posterior knee pain. And they have shown that these are superior as per the graft morphology as compared to soft tissue graft, and they mature. This one particular study by Physio Group, where they have compared allograft, BTB, and hamstring, where they have stated that hamstring quadriceps strength index is little higher at 1 year as compared to BTB. So little contradictory to the what we see. Then again, the return to sports is also slightly better if in terms of allograft, then soft tissue graft, and then the BTBs. So my choice when I do BTB is for revision surgeries in athletes and multi-ligament surgeries. So I think due to time constraint, I'm going to skip this BTB harvest. I think probably we'll come through across the live surgeries. So in summary, BTB has proven a longest track record. It's an ligament. It gives bone-to-bone healing, good tensile strength, and increased load to failure. Good choice for revision surgeries if their tunnels are dilated. So bone patellar tendon bone graft, it is here to stay. Thank you.